is there hope for Peter Obi? Is there hope for those that say their mandate was stolen? Welcome once again to this channel. It is going to be explosive. Now, a lot of people said that the United Kingdom refused to say anything on this election. But no, they have decided to speak because they said they needed to carry out their own investigation. They needed to dig deeper. They needed to search. They needed to find out. And they said that they have done their analysis and they've come to a conclusion that this election was riddled with a lot of fraudulent practices. In fact, they said this election is not as it should be. And what does that tell? It tells you a lot and a lot. Now, those who are waiting for May 29th swearing, somehow it seems a lot of voices are gathering momentum. As you can see, there are some Christian bodies, like the video that you watched. If you are on this channel, you must have seen this. And if you have not, go and listen to the Daddy Geos and Mommy Geos. They are gathering momentum together, just like how the outgoing consular, the ambassador to the United Kingdom, has reiterated. She said, this election, we've gathered our information, we've done our findings, and this election is not what it should be. Well, with these voices, like I said, gathering momentum, the church, the street, and international organizations and foreign countries coming together saying this election is not what it is supposed to be. You know what it means? That spells revolution, revolution, revolution. There are a lot of people who will gather on the streets on that May 29th, eve of May 29th. There is a lot that is going to happen. That is just the truth. That is the reality of it. Well, the UK concluded their findings and she went on to talk about what was their expectation. Now, Inec promised a lot. They said, you know what, there is no problem. Everything will be transferred from the polling unit down to our server. We are going to work on it and everything is going to be free and fair. And also with this introduction of new Naira design and all of that, people felt like, wow. In fact, we all said it. We said, Buhari worked against Tinubu. Buhari worked against the atrocities of his party. People said a lot of things. We saw it. Tinubu was literally crying. He was aggressive, saying a lot of things because he knew that it was going to be a tough one, a huge one, battle to finish. Now, if he could not get enough money to spend, if he could not get enough to do what he needed to do, how then did he end up winning the show? How did he end up being called the winner? Did the winner come from Inec Mahmoud? Did Bola Ahmed Tinubu promise him and say, look, man, just make me the president? Mahmoud looked at it and he's like, you know what? At the end of the day, if I allow Peter Obi to be president, they say he's stingy. I won't get nothing. It's about greediness. It's about selfishness. Well, without further ado, let us listen to what the outgoing British High Commissioner has to say, and we'll talk more.
Democracy is a journey, it's not an event. We're watching closely, along with other members of the international community, and those who incite violence or indeed act violently could be subject to a visa ban to our country, or we have other instruments, including our human rights legislation. So I can confirm we're gathering information at the moment. We obviously don't speak about individuals, and we will consider whether we want to exercise those visa bans. Other sort of challenges and interesting times, of course, I started just before the 2019 election and I finished after 2023. So I've seen some progress, a few setbacks, but overall what I would say, and this is one of my key sort of highlights from my time in Nigeria, Nigeria is the biggest, most important democracy in Africa, and for all its flaws and challenges, you are on that journey, and you should never take that for granted because you're in a region where democracy is backsliding, and indeed globally. But Nigeria sends a bit of a beacon of hope, and I know a lot of people are disappointed with the process and with the outcome, but I would say hang on to that important fundamental that people in Nigeria, your vote does count. Look at the different electoral map. It looks completely different than it did in 2019. Democracy is a journey, it's not an event. We're watching closely, along with other members of the international community, and those who incite violence or indeed act violently could be subject to a visa ban to our country, or we have other instruments, including our human rights legislation. So I can confirm we're gathering information at the moment. We obviously don't speak about individuals, and we will consider whether we want to exercise those visa bans. So that is one of the tools. That's if you like, a negative tool. But the whole point of that is deterrence, to ensure that people reflect before they act in that way, because elections going well are so important for Nigeria. What didn't work well, and was a big disappointment to all of us, and most importantly to Nigerians, was what Inec had raised expectations, that as the results were being tabled at the local polling unit, they would be automatically visible to all of us, actually, to be able to track the results in real time, so transparently. Clearly the system failed, and there's no question. That was a massive disappointment. It also meant that it created space for people to be concerned that somebody's interfering with the system, somebody's hacked into the system. And I think one of the problems was that Inec didn't communicate quickly enough what the challenges were. And we spoke to the Inec chair about this, and he accepted that point, that they should have been able to communicate soon. But it was a failure, and I think it's been a big setback to Inec's credibility, frankly, and therefore people's confidence in the election.
Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Now, there are people who are of a different opinion. They are saying, how dare the United Kingdom step into this? Are you talking of a country where elections were carried out and they later realized and found out that people who were dead, their data were used to vote to bring in whoever they wanted to bring in? They also went on to say, how dare the United Kingdom speak to us? We are sovereign. You cannot speak to a sovereign country. Mind your business. How dare you? Do we interfere in your election or talk about the abnormalities in your election? Did we ever speak about your Brexit? Did we ever speak about all of these things? Did we even speak about Scotland that wanted out? Did we speak about the referendum that was manipulated in a certain way to make sure that those who wanted out remain together so that your country can remain relevant? Did we ever in any day, any time at all speak about your government? Were we the one who supported, who applauded the voting of any of your prime ministers? How dare you people speak to us like we have to answer to you? Nothing will ever be done right in you people's eyes. You always see things like, no, these guys are not up to, because you need to keep with that colonial mentality, thinking that life in those years is still the same now. No, they say it is impossible. We have grown. We are out of this bondage. If you dare come in, we will shut you guys down. Now, all of these are coming from the supporters of APC, supporters of Bola Ahmed Tinubu, those who went to welcome him when he returned, when he came back from France, from where he went for vacation. And those are those people saying it. They say they should shut up their mouth. Now, the UK is saying that they will be enforcing, and their form of enforcement is, will not allow you guys come to our country. And it seems this threat or sanction or punishment, this particular one, is becoming weak. Why? Because majority of those that they might want to bar, those who supported Bola Ahmed Tinubu, or those that they know that they can collate their names, those people, some of them have foreign citizenship. They have British passport. So you cannot just bar them from coming in because they were part of this and that. You can't. They are citizens. And apart from that, if you are even going to bar certain people, they don't care to come to the United Kingdom anymore. It's like gone are those days that United Kingdom was like a big deal. They don't come to the United Kingdom. They have other countries that they can go. Look at Bola Ahmed Tinubu. He went to France. He went to France. He went there to relax. So he can always go to France. He can always go to other European countries. It is not a must that he will go to the UK. That is just what it is. It is not a must. And once he gets sworn in, that is if he gets sworn in, you cannot stop him from coming to your country. If you do, he cares less about it. So people are saying it's going to probably affect many other Nigerians, and I don't think that the UK will be that stupid to bar Nigerians in general because of the activities of certain groups of people. So it's not going to really affect people in general. And moreover, we are talking about doing the right thing. If Labour Party won the election, Peter Obi, let it be Labour Party. It's as simple as that. If Bola Ahmed Tinubu won it, let it be Bola Ahmed Tinubu. But from what we are hearing from the street, from the reactions, from the voices of the people and all of that, somehow, And now, some people are also pointing to some fact. They say, look, Peter Obi did not reach into the north. He didn't reach into the hearts of Muslims. So how can he say that he won the election? But that is what I'm going to leave to you guys to decide upon. What I know is that the street is talking about Peter Obi and nothing more. What are your thoughts about this one? Drop it in the comment section. Like and share. Subscribe to this channel. See you in the next update.